Tuesday, October 19th, 2021, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Before I start today, I'd like to thank all of you again for your continued support. And I would also like to ask you, if you haven't subscribed yet, to subscribe if you enjoy my videos, to make sure, if you like my videos, to hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button, but it helps. The other thing I would say, make sure you hit the little notification bell to be notified of all my new videos. And if you want to help further, there are ways to support the channel below in the description of every video. You can have a look there through PayPal, Patreon. For my viewers who are in the UK or Europe or anywhere for that matter, they can also use my promo codes and referral codes at Gold Investments and at Glint. So I woke up this morning a little later than usual. Billy is back. You can see he's back. Billy's going to be groomed today. His groomer is coming, mobile groomer is coming at 1 o'clock. So he's going to look really good tomorrow for the video. She comes every 8 weeks. But anyway, I woke up a little later and I'm noticing here that gold and silver are doing really well. So that's very unusual for the last few weeks or even months. Every time London and Europe come online, we seem to get a little bit of a selling pressure in gold and silver. So I'm surprised by the price action here. But today I'd like to touch upon a concept or a strategy of warfare, and it's called a siege, right? So I've looked up a few things online about sieges, and there's a website here called historycollection.com, and there's an article by Larry Holsworth, and it says the longest and worst sieges in history. And why am I talking about this? Well, because I just realized the other day when I was watching a documentary about the Spanish Civil War, and they were talking about how Franco laid siege to Madrid for for a year or two, which is relatively long, siege. So when I was watching this documentary the other day, it came into my head that we are actually under siege. And what do I mean by that? Well, humanity is under siege, and a lot of people are surrendering, of course. And I'm not going to be going into too much detail here. Most of you know what I'm talking about. But since March last year, we've been under siege, and the siege is getting worse. And I think the symptoms of the siege are the fact that we're getting rising prices, we're getting all the supply chain problems, we're getting all the shortages, yes, all the disruptions. Yes, they do feel artificial and orchestrated. And I think that's because it's a siege. What's the objective of a siege? Well, it's to conquer. Usually it's a city, a walled city, or yeah, that's historically what it's been. But the siege of 2020 and 2021, and it might last, I don't know how long it will last. It could last another few weeks, or it could last another few years, who knows. But yes, I think it's trying to make humanity surrender and yeah, surrender to the control of the people in charge right now, the people that John Titus calls the mafiocracy or the corporatocracy or the globalists or Mr. Global, like Catherine Austin Fitts calls them. So this is what this article here by Larry Holsworth says about sieges, and it's entitled The Longest and Worst Sieges in History. Merriam-Webster's dictionary online defines the military tactic of a siege as a military blockade of a city or fortified place to compel it to surrender. It is a process of war which is as old as recorded history and which continues to the present day. Sieges are described in the Bible, in the stories of Homer, in the histories of other ancients, such as Josephus and Tacitus. During the Second World War, several locations on the Eastern Front in Europe suffered epic sieges, including Stalingrad and Leningrad. The latter withstood a siege of nearly 900 days, one of the most gruesome in history. So yeah, that's what I think we are under. And there has been talk, of course, that even by the mainstream, even by politicians who are, in my opinion, implementing the siege. Of course, I don't think they are the power behind the sieges. The power behind the sieges are the people that went to dinner last night with Prime Minister Boris Johnson, right? The bankers, Bill Gates, and people that we probably don't even know. So, yeah, we've heard from the politician that this is like a war. The spending monetarily and fiscally that we've seen, we've seen these kinds of spendings and stimulus during times of war, like World War I and World War II. So yes, I think we are under siege, and they're trying to make us surrender to their control. They want us to sign up for their digital AI, fourth industrial circular economy revolution of Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum. And if you notice that the very wealthy, the people who are closer to the top, they're moving around fairly easily under this siege that we've had for almost 2 years now. And there are places, of course, where the siege has been worse than others. Like some states in Australia, the siege has been brutal, I would say. And in some places like Sweden, there hasn't been much of a siege. But be as it may, all the pressure, all the coercion about medical procedures, about signing up to things, about having passports, about mandates, I think it's a siege. And it's incumbent upon those of us who understand what's going on to resist. That's what you do in a siege. And it could take years, it could take even decades. They have a list here of the what this guy considers the most important sieges. And I'm just going to go through one here. It says it's the siege of Quetta, and it lasted from 1694 to 1727. It was a siege of the city of Quetta in northern Africa, which was a Portuguese enclave. So it can last a long time. I'm not saying this one is going to last 30 years, but it could in some aspects. And that's why we need to resist it. And it's not going to be easy. And I think hopefully we will win and the siege will break and humanity will be free again. So there you go. That's my thought for the day. With that, let's quickly look at where the markets are this morning. It's about 10 to 9 a.m. London time. As I said, I'm a little later today. Actually, gold is up over $16, which is surprising. As I said earlier, we're at 1781.80. The high's been 1782.70. The low 1762. So we're up almost 1% in gold. Silver is up just over 2%, 2.25%. We're at 23.70, or up 52 cents. So I've noticed that gold, technically, we're breaking through the 50-day moving average, as you can see here, this green line. The black line is the 100-day, and the red line is the 200-day moving average. So in the short term, it's looking pretty good here. Longer term, there's still a lot of work to do. I think looking at Michael Oliver, who does momentum structural analysis, I think technically the breakout now for gold and silver to go a lot higher is a lot lower than, for example, 1900 or even 30 in silver, according to Mr. Oliver. So I think we need to think more of levels around like 1820 in gold, and maybe even 24 in silver. Silver could start catching a bid very quickly. Here's the shorter term chart of silver. It looks like we're breaking this downward trend line here, that we've been under this trend line since, let's say, the middle of May. It looks like we're breaking through this trend line. It's looking better. But I think Mr. Oliver talked about the fact that 2365 or 2380 could actually be a key momentum level, a level where momentum could pick up. So that's where we are right now. What about the stock markets this morning? Well, we've got the Dow up 46 points, so not much to write home about. We've got the NASDAQ up 18 points, and we've got the S&P future up 7. The FTSE is down 3 points at 72.01. To the currencies, sterling is up 0.4% at 137.80. The euro is up 0.4 as well at 116.50. And the dollar is down 1/3% versus the yen at 113.95. The dollar is under quite a bit of pressure versus the Chinese yuan. We're actually below 640 now. We're down 0.5%. We're at 639.50. It's ironic because there's been a lot of talk about Evergrande and the problems in China, but it's weird how actually the Chinese yuan has been rallying quite a bit in the last few weeks. To the other currencies now, the Aussie dollar is up 0.75% at 74.65. The dollar is down 0.4 versus the Canadian dollar at 123.27. And the Kiwi dollar is up 0.75% as well at 71.40. So yeah, it looks like dollar weakness is helping gold and silver a little bit here in the short term, even though, as I've said many times, all fiat currencies are going to be sinking versus real money in the medium to longer term. What about the general commodities? Well, we got WTI crude up just under 1% at 82.38. We've got high-grade copper up 1% at 475. We've got natural gas up 1/3% at 518. And just to finish off, a quick look at the 10-year yield. 10-year yield is unchanged, right around 1.59%. And the UK 10-year yield is unchanged as well. It's at 113. So they're still keeping bond yields under control. I think that's their goal, to keep inflation and CPI hot, and to manage yields, to keep them low in order to write off the debt, to have a negative real yield. And that will only hurt creditors and investors in the long term. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Please share it far and wide. Think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet. And you can also follow me on Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, and all these other platforms below here. I wish you all a great day. Take care. Bye.